we have to be smarter than our minds. Our minds are tools, right? And we're the programmer. Change your perception of how you're viewing your singleness. Instead of looking at your singleness as you're lacking something and you need something else, this is an opportunity.
It's Melicia.
Shout out to my 10-year-old niece, Sunra, for lending her vocals. And welcome to our garden. At SAC 967, do you have any advice for overcoming loneliness and being envious of couples while single? I appreciate this question because we all experience envy, but we all aren't as honest about those feelings. Before we get into this, I also want to make it clear that there are some people who are in relationships who are still lonely. A relationship is not the cure that I think some of us believe that it is. And it's easy to think that when you're not in a relationship. Which brings me to my first piece of advice. Make sure those rose-colored glasses are off. If they are not, remove them.
So it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be really hard. And we're gonna have to work at this every day, but I wanna do that because I want you.
Being in a relationship can be beautiful, but it's also very challenging too. From the outside looking in, it seems glamorous, but a real genuine relationship where two different people from two different experiences, life experiences, are coming together to build, that's not easy work. With a relationship comes responsibility and accountability. You have to answer to someone else. Certain parts of you that only can be triggered when you are in a relationship will be triggered, and you're going to have to learn how to deal with that in a healthy way. To sum it up, I believe romantic relationships challenge us to be our best selves in ways that are enjoyable and in ways that are not enjoyable. Taking off the rose-colored glasses can help you see the benefits and opportunities that are present in your life right now. So that being said, stay open to love, but take control of what you can control, and that is building a healthy relationship with yourself.
That doesn't sound sexy.
Well, it brings me to my second piece of advice. It sounds basic, but it works. Place your focus on working on yourself. And I know people say that all the time, but it's so true. Focus on building you, because once that good thing shows up, and you want it to be a good thing, and in my opinion, to attract a good thing, you have to be a good thing, So work on healing your wounds. Work on practicing and embodying the characteristics you want your future partner to have, like integrity, responsibility. Get your body moving, eat better. Your future partner deserves someone who prioritizes their health. Shoot, you deserve to reap the benefits of prioritizing your health. That comes first. And something else I've learned from experience, the relationship is not going to satisfy that itch. That feeling of emptiness or that void you might feel, it might temporarily cover it. But when you're with that person for a year and the honeymoon phase is starting to trickle away and you start to see that person as a human with flaws, that void comes back. And I've just realized that they're not the answer that I seek. What I seek is really a deeper, more loving, whole relationship with myself. It's kind of like thinking another person is gonna fix a void in you is taking a shortcut. When the real answer is, once you get that and you realize it doesn't satisfy you, it all leads back to you, your relationship with yourself. In her book, A Return to Love, author Marianne Williamson writes, "It is not our job to seek love, but to seek for all the barriers we hold against it coming. Thinking that there is some special person out there who is going to save us is a barrier to pure love. Thinking that one special person is going to save us tempts us to load an awful lot of emotional pressure on whoever comes along that we think might fit the bill." She goes on to say, "The most enlightened prayer isn't, 'Dear God, send me someone wonderful,' but Dear God, help me to realize that I am someone wonderful. We have to be smarter than our minds. Our minds are tools, right? And we're the programmer. Change your perception of how you're viewing your singleness. Right now it sounds as if it's coming, and your feelings are valid, and I want to make sure that you know that I'm not trying to dismiss your feelings at all. And this is not easy. What I'm saying is not easy, but this is my advice. Change your perspective, and instead of looking at your singleness as you're lacking something and you need something else, this is an opportunity for you to reach in there and find what more lies in you, because there's so much more in you that you have yet to discover.
I am smart. I am blessed. I can do anything.
I truly believe if you were meant to be in a relationship right now, you would be. But in order to have a healthy relationship, you have to be a healthy partner. I'm not sure your circumstance, but if you're looking for somebody to complete you, this is an imperfect human being. You will be on a roller coaster ride. Any move they make, they don't call you or text back quick enough, your anxiety is through the roof. I've experienced it a number of times to a point where I got fed up. And I said, I can't keep basing my joy, if I'm gonna have a good day, on how this person reacts or responds to me. That's not fair. That's not love. And that's not the way I wanna live my life. There's a book I recommend, Calling in the One, 7 Weeks to Attract the Love of Your Life by Catherine Woodward Thomas. Phenomenal book. I enjoyed it so much. 7 weeks to attract the love of your life. It sounds, wonderful, but truly, essentially, what the book is really talking about is calling in you. You are the love of your life. You are the relationship you're really seeking. And the book helps you to go through your childhood experiences, figure out any deep-seated beliefs you have that are blocking a relationship from coming in. Like you might think, like, I'm never the one that's chosen. Why am I never the one that's chosen? If that is a cycle or pattern you see in your relationships, the book helps you to get clear on that and then to rewire that belief. Or you may have the belief that others always get what I want and I never get what I want, which leads to my third piece of advice, which focuses on envy. Stop fighting with the good that you want to experience. When it comes to being envious, let's be clear, sometimes those feelings, they feel so icky that it's hard to navigate through them. But a tactic that I've learned and that works is, I'll speak to your situation in particular. If I see a couple, if I'm single and I see a couple, if those jealous or envious feelings come up, ask questions. Get to know what makes their relationship work. This is an opportunity not for you to close your heart and to have a negative view, because essentially you're closing your heart and having a negative view to something you want. Try your best to keep your heart open when those feelings come up. I know it's tough because sometimes they're like a huge wave that rushes over you, but keep your heart open and look at it. Look at that relationship, which, let's be clear, if it's on social media, not even if it's on social media, no relationship is perfect. So you might just be seeing the highlight reel. Keep that in mind. But even still, look at it. And if you know the people, ask them questions. Oh, what do you love about Bob? Or how do you sustain a healthy relationship for so long? What keeps you two together? Ask questions so when it's your time, you use that wisdom and that knowledge to make your relationship better. It's really an opportunity for you to envision yourself in a relationship. Next time you see a couple you like, or you're envious of, challenge yourself to genuinely wish them the best, because you would want somebody to want the best for you when you get in a relationship, unless you want people to be envious of you, which is another conversation. But anyway, I don't believe you can attract something to yourself that you don't want somebody else to have. I just don't think energy works like that. So find a way to be happy for them, or to at least bless them, and start visualizing yourself in that situation. How does it feel to be in love? How would it feel for you to go to sleep every night knowing that there's somebody who only wants you? Think about those things and use those opportunities as moments to create internally the feeling you want, the picture you want of your relationship. It doesn't have to be a negative or heavy thing. Although it might not always appear this way, you have to trust that there is more than enough love to go around for all of us. And you want the person that's for you. And you want them to come at the right time. So there's no need to be envious of another couple. Also, side note, when it comes to loneliness, make an effort to get out of the house and explore hobbies. Become part of a community. It can help pass the time, and you gain beautiful, unexpected platonic relationships and memorable experiences. Plus, you never know who you might meet. I know I said a lot. That's a topic we can definitely talk more about in the future, because I understand where you're coming from. You're not alone. But there's so much opportunity there if you just change the way you look at it. At Sack967, thank you for your question. Thank you for your vulnerability, just your flat out realness. I hope my advice has been beneficial to you in some sort of way. And yeah, remember, be patient with yourself. This is a process and change is not going to happen overnight. These are practices that have been helpful to me, but keep in mind that it's something you have to practice to see change. I hope you find love one day. I really do, and good love, because you can do bad all by yourself, okay? If it's not a good love, personally, I don't want it. And by the way, when I say good, that does not mean perfect. To the rest of the community, I want to hear your thoughts too. What are some of the ways you've combated loneliness and envy? Also, what's your favorite thing about yourself? And why don't you want to change it? I would love to know. Talk soon.